Have you ever felt like your life was on pause, waiting for something important that never quite arrives? That lingering tension between hope and delay is more than just frustration. It can shape how our brains process reward, how our emotions settle, and even how our bodies respond to stress. I'm Esther Adams. I hold a doctorate of psychology, and I'm a trauma informed psychotherapist based in Central Israel. This episode is for educational purposes only. In today's podcast, we're exploring the complex experience of deferred hope and chronic goal frustration. This is not about the everyday delays we all face, but rather the deeper psychological weight that builds when meaningful goals or dreams remain just out of reach. We'll look at the neurological responses that happen when hope is repeatedly postponed, the emotional toll this takes on daily life, and therapeutic approaches that can help restore resilience. More importantly, we'll consider how language and perspective can shift our understanding of these experiences, from seeing them as failures to recognizing them as reflections of deep investment in what matters most. The complex psychological phenomenon of deferred hope and chronic goal frustration represents a significant challenge in human experience, particularly when important life goals or dreams face persistent postponement. This isn't about simple delays or temporary setbacks. We're examining a deeper pattern that can fundamentally impact mental well being and emotional stability. The persistent postponement of important personal goals and dreams can create a cascade of psychological effects that ripple through multiple aspects of life. The neurological impact of deferred hope is particularly fascinating and well documented in research. When individuals continuously face obstacles to meaningful goals, it triggers specific responses in the brain's limbic system and prefrontal cortex. These areas, crucial for decision making and emotional regulation, can become compromised under the weight of chronic disappointment. The dopamine system, our internal reward circuitry, shows measurable changes when goals remain persistently out of reach, leading to decreased pleasure anticipation and increased tendency toward negative thought patterns. This neurological response can create a self reinforcing cycle where each setback becomes increasingly difficult to process and overcome. Consider how this manifests in daily life. Someone repeatedly postponing their dream of starting a business due to financial constraints, or continually delaying plans for parenthood because circumstances never seem quite right. These aren't just practical challenges, they create a profound emotional burden that can feel isolating, especially when peers appear to be moving forward effortlessly. The shame and self doubt that often accompany these delays can make it particularly challenging to maintain motivation and hope. The psychological research is clear about the risks involved. Chronic goal frustration can significantly increase vulnerability to depression, anxiety, and social withdrawal. However, it's equally important to note that research has identified several pathways to building resilience. These include focusing on small achievements, finding meaning in the journey, maintaining social connections, and practicing self compassion. These strategies have been shown to help individuals maintain emotional stability even when facing prolonged periods of goal deferment. What makes this particularly challenging is the shame and isolation that often accompanies deferred hope. People experiencing this tend to internalize their struggles, viewing them as personal failures rather than recognizing them as common human experiences. This is where therapeutic approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, and logotherapy have proven valuable, offering structured methods to process feelings of stagnation and develop more adaptive responses. These therapeutic approaches provide concrete tools for managing the emotional impact of chronic goal frustration. The language we use to discuss these experiences matters significantly. Rather than focusing solely on achievement metrics, it's more helpful to acknowledge the emotional endurance required to maintain hope in the face of persistent obstacles. Terms like goal fatigue or emotional depletion can help normalize these experiences and create space for more constructive dialogue. This shift in language can help individuals better understand and communicate their experiences while reducing the stigma often associated with perceived failure. A particularly powerful framework for understanding this phenomenon comes from the recognition that deferred hope doesn't equate to failure. Instead, it often indicates deep investment in meaningful goals, the very things that make life feel purposeful and worthwhile. This perspective shift can be crucial for maintaining emotional resilience during periods of prolonged waiting or repeated setbacks. It acknowledges the value of the goal itself while reducing the psychological burden of temporary inability to achieve it. The impact on daily functioning can be substantial and far reaching. When hope is consistently deferred, it's not just the specific goal that feels distant. The entire emotional system becomes taxed from maintaining optimism in the face of ongoing disappointment. This can affect everything from sleep patterns to relationship dynamics to professional performance. The stress response activated by chronic goal frustration can create physical symptoms as well, highlighting the deep connection between psychological well being and physical health. However, research in this area also offers encouraging insights about human adaptability. While chronic goal frustration can wear down psychological resources, it can also lead to the development of new coping strategies and emotional strengths. The key lies in finding ways to acknowledge the difficulty of the experience while maintaining a connection to possibility and change. This balance between realism and hope is crucial for long term resilience. Professional support in these situations often focuses on helping individuals maintain a balanced perspective, neither minimizing the real pain of deferred hopes nor allowing that pain to overshadow all possibility of future change. This might involve developing new metrics for progress, finding meaning in the waiting period, or identifying alternative pathways toward important life goals. The emphasis is on building sustainable coping strategies while maintaining connection to core values and aspirations. The research consistently shows that while the path through chronic goal frustration is challenging, it's not insurmountable. By combining practical support strategies with emotional validation and maintaining connection to sources of hope, individuals can navigate these difficult periods while preserving their sense of agency and possibility for the future. This understanding has led to the development of more nuanced and effective approaches to supporting individuals through periods of deferred hope, recognizing both the complexity of the challenge and the importance of maintaining a path forward.